Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
This is more. More savings. More service. More focus on fresh, quality produce. Expert butchers who know more. And the most talked about meat in town. We are Fairway. We put everything into meat and grocery. And this is more.
I wanted a big university experience.
Without the big university price.
That's why I chose Iowa Central.
What makes Iowa Central so different than other community colleges is its size.
Big campus, lots of programs, athletics, and performing arts.
I live right here on campus.
And the teachers know me by name.
I'll be career ready in 2 years.
And all my credits transfer to a university.
It's a big time experience.
Without the big time price.
Come see it for yourself.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team, and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
Iowa Public Television is the home of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Championships. We bring you live, uninterrupted coverage of the state championships in volleyball, basketball, soccer, and softball. Plus, special features highlighting the Iowa girl. Catch it all on statewide Iowa Public Television, on air or at iptv.org.
All you have to do, you just have to get their feet here on the pavement and bing. Being in Des Moines, you just get it through the experience.
I'm a fan of a lot of our fast, casual cuisine.
A little theater, some great restaurants.
There's a lot going on musically.
If you can't find things to do in Des Moines,
you must be boring.
This is a magical place.
They say Buena Vista University is in the middle of a bunch of fields.
Hey guys, wait up!
Game on. They say our idea of fun is morning tea, and afternoon tea,
and anytime tea.
And we hang out like bumps on a log.
They say Storm Lake, Iowa isn't in the center of the action. And when we study, we're not exactly grounded.
But you know what we say.
You gotta see it to believe it.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change.
From Fort Dodge, Iowa, Harlan Rogers Sports Complex is the site for today's Class 2A semifinal matchup between the Alta-Aurelia Warriors, who will be in the first base dugout, the number 6 seed, and the number 2 seed, the East Marshall Mustangs, who will occupy the third base bag. Hello, everybody. Zaron Egestal and behind home plate as we get set for this matchup here between East Marshall and Alta-Aurelia, the Warriors. Now, to get to this ball game, Alta-Aurelia defeated the number 3 team in Class 2A, the Central Springs Panthers. That game coming up earlier this week here in Fort Dodge, actually over on the other field. A game you saw right here on the IGHSAU digital network powered by Mid-American Energy. That game over on the Iowa Central Community College field. This game, though, is on the Kruger Seeds field here also known as Diamond Number 1, but the Kruger Seeds Field is where all the magic happens. And that's where East Marshall, they defeated their first round opponent, Ogden, right here on the Kruger Seeds Field, the number 7 seed in the bracket. So that's how we got to here, the number 2 seed and the number 6 seed. The winner of this Class 2A semifinal will take on North Lynn, the number 1 team in Class 2A, who just defeated Mount Ayr in the game prior to this. So the winner of East Marshall and Alta-Aurelia will get North Lynn coming up at 8:15 under the big lights and the big cameras of Iowa Public Television. We'll have the call for you tomorrow evening here at 8:15. So hopefully you're able to join for that. But I'm glad you're along the way for this contest here between the 6 seed and the number 2 seed. Hey, later today we're going to have some more semifinals for you. In Class 5A, West Des Moines Valley, who just defeated Fort Dodge last night, will take on Iowa City High at 5:30 p.m. over on the Iowa Central Community College Diamond. And our final game of the night here in at 5:30 is the Class 4A second semifinal. I had to check myself there. It's the Class 4A second semifinal, and that will be North Scott versus Charles City. Then at 7 p.m. right here, you will see the first of 2 semifinals in Class 5A at 7 p.m. And before we do any more, we're going to go upstairs and listen to Tim Fitzpatrick, who will have the lineups for today's game.
The Warriors and the home team, the East Marshall Mustangs. The winner of this game will play tomorrow at 8:15 in the championship game for 2A right here on Kruger Seeds Field. The loser of this game will play for 3rd place tomorrow at 7 o'clock across the way at Iowa Central Field. Now let's meet the non-starters and assistant coaches. First of all, for the visitors from Alta-Aurelia. Number 1, Jocelyn Launderville. Number 7, Brielle Engelman. Number 9, Rachel Wienhold. Number 15, Emma Peterson. Number 24, Jenna Nielsen. And number 38, Sarah Cargett. Your assistant coaches, Casey Christensen, Lisa Hecht, John Turnquist, and Katie Morris. Now, here's your starting lineup for the Alta-Aurelia Warriors. Leading off and playing 3rd base, number 22, Jessica Flaherty. Batting 2nd in center field, number 11, Brittany Turnquist. Batting 3rd and doing the pitching, number 23, Abby Kramer. Cleanup hitter for the Warriors, the designated player, number 33, Angela Lopez. Batting 5th in right field, number 12, Jessica Larson. Batting 6th and playing shortstop, number 3, Shay Peterson. Batting 7th and playing second base, number 4, Mallory Jacobson. Batting 8th in left field, number 13, Sierra Hill. Batting 9th, the first baseman, number 18, Elena Westfall. And your flex position player, the catcher, number 26, Allie Magnuson. Head coach for Alta-Aurelia, David Turnquist. Now here are your non-starters and assistant coaches for the home team from East Marshall. Number 2, Jaylee Bensergraw. Number 3, Abby Ryan. Number 5, Kemi Weeks. Number 6, Quinn Damon. Number 8, Helen Curfey. Number 12, Hannah Rhodes. Number 13, Claire Varin. Number 15, Delcy Sanachi. Number 20, Hannah Slifer. Number 23, Ellie Hull. Number 24, Kennedy Weeder. And 25, Caitlin Fisher. Your assistant coaches, Greg Lee, Chris Argenbright, and Madison Rasmussen. Now, here's your starting lineup for the East Marshall Mustangs. Leading off and playing center field, number 11, Melinda Pumla. Batting second at second base, number 10, Maria Rasmussen. Batting third and playing shortstop, number 17, Reagan McElroy. Cleanup hitter for the Mustangs, the catcher, number 9, Madison Duncan. Batting fifth at first base, number 4, Julianne. Batting sixth at third base, number 14, Hannah Burks. Batting seventh and doing the pitching, number 18, Cody Husky. Batting designated player, number 19, Kayla Mummer. Batting ninth in left field, number 7, Emma Fox. And right fielder, number 1, Madison Duncan. Head coach for the East Marshall Mustangs, Jerry Husky. Now please turn your attention to the home plate area. The umpiring crew assigned to this contest by the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. At first base, Paul Bird. At third base, Stan Sipke. And calling the balls and strikes, Mr. Tom Sullivan. All right, softball fans, who's ready for state tournament softball?
Starting lineups are brought to you by Buena Vista University, located in Storm Lake, Iowa. Buena Vista University prepares students for lifelong success through transformational academic, professional, and co-curricular programs. Schedule your visit today at bvu.edu. We're ready for state semifinal softball here in Class 2A. Zarin Egestal along with Andy Pollock as we get set for this matchup. Andy, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I mean, it's my first time I've been to Fort Dodge for the state softball tournament. I've been here, my daughter has played here several times in other tournaments, but not been here before for a state softball tournament, and I'm having a blast.
Wow.
This has been an outstanding atmosphere. And, thanks to the football rollback here, things starting a little bit later, so I get to come around. I joked earlier, I've been to about 160 softball games so far this year, though, so not new to softball, just first time up here.
Yes, the IGHSAU does an amazing job with treating their girls like rock stars here at the state softball tournament, and especially here in Fort Dodge. What a beautiful place to play softball.
And the community takes a lot of pride in the event going on, and you see so many volunteers helping around for it, and just so many fans. They pack them in here. It's a lot of space, but you walk around. It's just it's almost a carnival-like atmosphere around this entire place, and we can't ask for much better weather than what we've had so far.
Man,
for this state tournament.
It has been great weather. Yeah, you talked about you going to some softball games. What do you got, 3 daughters?
4, actually.
4 daughters,
yeah.
okay.
Yep.
I knew it was somewhere in that 3-4 number. Well,
the youngest one's not playing yet.
Okay,
so that's
okay. I gotcha.
But we've got
not yet,
plenty in, so not yet. Between this spring, we've got in summer going around to a lot of games. When they're not playing, they love to be watching, and so it's rubbed off on me. I love this sport. Learned it a lot more than I ever have known before, and it's been very enjoyable for me to be at all these games.
Well, that's good to see. Here we go. We're set for state semifinal action. The winner of this ball game will get we'll get North Lynn, who just defeated Mount Ayr a moment ago. And we are set it. Flaherty will step in. This one swung on and smoked over to the left field, or the third base side. And that is going to be a base hit to start things off. And quickly diving back to first base. That's one of those plays. You take your orange bag and you run for the outfield. Don't make that turn.
Yeah, and to start off the play, Hosky on the second pitch of the game comes with a changeup. And nice job by Flaherty to sit on it and ripped it down that third baseline.
Goodness gracious, she made the turn over to second base, though, and had to dive back in safely. Now the corner infielders will come up in an expected bunt. There it is. Ooh, down the third base side, and if that would have been fair, that would have been trouble for the East Marshall Mustangs. Alta-Aurelia playing with a chip on their shoulder. The number 6 seed, they dominated. I can't even say defeated. We'll see Abby Kramer. We'll talk about her quite a bit here in a few minutes, but Abby Kramer dominated the 3 seed. This one in the air, left field, and it's made. A play is made on the run.
Yeah, Emma Fonts just rolling over there. Read it right hot off the bat, and that could be a run saver right there, because if that hits the ground, that's rolling through, and you're definitely going to see the score coming from first base over there.
Yeah, Flaherty would have been on a hop from first base if that ball would have got down. And it could have been a 1-0 ball game instead. Here's another ball into left field. That's going to get down for a hit. And the hits are flowing.
Yeah, Alta-Aurelia here early on. Everything to the left side too, and you don't see Hosky taking too much off, with the exception of that changeup that she threw to Flaherty. But you don't see her taking too much off the pitches. But she is, they're pulling everything over to that left side so far.
Hosky has got an ERA of under 2, so not bad. And we do have a courtesy runner over at first base. That for for Alta-Aurelia is number 24, Jenna Nielsen, a freshman courtesy runner. All of our substitutions are brought to you by IMT. You can be worry-free with IMT by going to IMT-INS, and that.com. That one high for a ball. This is the number 4 hitter in the order, number 33, Angela Lopez, the designated player, the cleanup hitter with 2 runners on. This one in the air, popped up. That's going to make it towards the dugout. And that one will make it on top of the dugout. And that doesn't sound very good.
No, especially when you're in that dugout. All the sound reverberates right inside there. And if you don't know for sure that's going to hit you, that can surprise you and send some people scurrying.
1 ball, 1 strike here in the top half of the first inning on the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. Hosky in the circle. That's Cody Hosky. Here's the pitch. This one will miss for a ball inside, just barely not getting that outside corner. Hosky trying to paint some corners.
Yeah, she comes with that screwball, tries to get it in on the hands, and just not able to quite get it in there enough.
Here's the pitch. And that one misses. Oh, they're going to say it hit her. It got a piece of her. I thought maybe just inside, but it did get a piece of her. And Alta-Aurelia has the bases loaded, and the number 5 hitter coming up. This is not the way if you're East Marshall. You wanted to start the Class 2A semifinal.
Well, she's really been, and that's why you've seen the hits going over that way as well. She's really been working that inside corner hard, keeps bringing the screwball. That time just a little too high and tight. She missed the time before a little bit inside and went even further inside on that pitch, and that gives a free pass to Lopez.
Well, here's some adversity. Let's see how East Marshall handles the adversity early in the ball game. And this is high for a ball, or excuse me, that one just barely getting the top of the zone for a strike. Now Alta-Aurelia is making its 2nd straight trip to the state tournament, and also its 2nd in school history, as this one is popped up in the air. That's what the doctor ordered for East Marshall, because now you have the bases loaded, but there's 2 outs, and a pop fly anywhere should now end the inning, but where before with 1 out, a pop fly in the outfield probably scores a run on a tag-up.
Yeah, and home plate umpire Tom Sullivan all over that right there with the infield fly call. Got them out. All the base runners went back. Advance at your own peril. In that situation, they all went back. Man.
And check swing. Tom will peel down, and then she went.
I think that's the right call as he peeled over to Paul Bird at first. Stan Siebke, our 3rd base umpire. Stan is a very well-known football official as well throughout the state, so you see that a lot of guys around here. They do multiple sports.
The pitch, and high cheese again, and she checked it. They're going to check it again. That time, no. She did not go, but why not ask?
Yeah, and the coaching buzzword these days is no, 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 yes. You should be thinking about hitting every pitch. It happens so fast, or yes, 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 no, excuse me. Right. So you're thinking about that pitch coming in, you're going to hit it the entire time, and then you decide at the last minute not to. So the check swing has become much more popular here over the last 3 to 4 years as you see batters be much more aggressive at the plate.
Just got to make sure you don't bring it across the plate. 2-1 now the count here. Bases loaded here for the Alta-Aurelia Warriors. Is that one inside? This is number 3, Shea Peterson. Shea, a youngin', just an 8th grader, a shortstop. So she's got a big role when they get in the field too, as a shortstop playing, or an 8th grader playing a shortstop.
Big pitch here.
And she chops it, second base side, could be trouble. Peterson is safe, and a run scores. That second run is coming home, and she's safe. Alta-Aurelia scores 2.
The ball, it was a great pitch. Again, in on the hands, goes off the handle really, and Hosky, brings that screwball in on a 3-1 pitch, and brings it in on the hands, able to, I thought, induce what was going to be an easy single, and she was going to let it roll. I think she thought there was more on it. Rasmussen at second just couldn't come in. Such a slow roller. I think Hosky thought it was going to get through, and it never did.
So now runners on the corners, 2 outs, ball back up the middle. It's snagged by Hosky, and she makes the play. A little bit of a frustration throw over there to first base. 2 runs for Alta-Aurelia. We head to the bottom. And we'll see if East Marshall can answer back here on the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Hey, high school sports fans. Are you following the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union online? Stay up to date with the latest information and scores from across the state as we share highlights and achievements from our student athletes. You can follow all the action on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. Just search at IGHSAU.
Back here in Fort Dodge, the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. And for Alta-Aurelia, they scored 2 runs on 2 hits and 2 errors charged to East Marshall. Only one of the runs brought in via the RBI. And the throw down to second base is complete. And we're set for now East Marshall coming up in the bottom half. And now they've got to answer.
Yeah, and no panic right now when it happens this early on. And as it's interesting right now as Melinda Pumala for East Marshall looks down at her coach, Jerry Hosky, and Hosky says, hey, smile, we're having fun. It's easy to get down and you give up 2 early runs, but it's a long game. East Marshall, you look at some of the offensive numbers they put up this year. 2 runs is nothing for them.
This is a little bit different of a game than we've seen around here so far. The last 2 games that we've had, we knew were going to be pitching duels or one pitcher taking over, and they have been. The 2 games ago was a 1-1 game, Clarksville game going all the way to the 5th inning. It was 0-0. And then last game, what a pitching performance there. And now we'll see whether both of these offenses can light the charts up because they both have the capability of doing so. And we'll see what happens.
Allie Magnuson, the catcher, really trying to work that outside corner. That's where she's setting things up. And so far, not quite able to find the zone is Abby Kramer.
Now, Kramer is a lights-out pitcher. She has played lights out in their win over Central Springs. A 2-0 ball game shutout a Central Springs offense who won a conference championship. And a 4-pitch walk to lead things off here for East Marshall.
The first 2 pitches, I think Kramer probably thought that they could have been called either way. And we've seen so far, I agree with the umpire. I agree with Sullivan. They were not strikes. But we've seen so far throughout this tournament, it takes a little feeling out process to see how much room is that umpire going to give me on the corners. And Sullivan so far has shown that, no, it's got to be a strike for him to call it.
There's a strike after 4 straight balls thrown from Kramer. She finds the strike zone for the first time tonight. Here to the number 2 hitter in the order, Mariah Rasmussen. The 0-1 pitch. Bunted in the air, and that one slammed the net here.
Caught the weird. That's what it sounds like in the dugout, probably.
Yeah, exactly. And we have actually had one. I know you said you just got down here. We've had one that landed in the booth once already this week. Yesterday it landed up on the stairs and then rolled. There's no fencing there and rolled. It dropped right down on top of us, and we're like, okay, look what we found. But there's a strikeout for Kramer. She comes back after issuing a 4-pitch walk. She comes back with a 3-pitch strikeout, and what a swing there in 7 pitches.
Yeah, when she got up in that count, it was tough for Rasmussen because she goes high and away on that 0-2 pitch, and it's just close enough that you've got to be swinging to protect with 2 strikes, especially down 0-2 in the count.
Reagan McElrath will step in now, the junior shortstop. Where's number 17? And the runner will go and mishandled there, and it would have been a close play. Well, I think she was going to be safe no matter what. But
yeah, as Magnuson's popped up, it was going to take, I'm not even sure you make that throw in that situation because of an incredible jump there by Pumala.
Without a doubt. A lot of seniors on this roster for East Marshall. This is kind of their motto has been, this is kind of their year type of thing. the number 2 seed, have been rated pretty high all season long. Got a lot of sophomores, but they do bring some freshmen and some sophomores with them. Well, this is kind of the, hey, this is our year. All the players in the order for the most part are seniors or juniors.
Which is different from the team that whoever moves on to play in the championship will play. That's North Lynn. North Lynn just with 1 senior on the roster, and they looked every bit of experience today.
Same with this Alta-Aurelia team. There's only 2 of them, only 2 seniors on the roster, and one of them's in the circle. So that's not that's not a good one you want to lose. As Kramer, I wasn't saying anything bad about you. I was just talking about you.
Do we have instant replay on that? I'd like to see your face as that ball was coming right at you.
Literally, if there was no fence here, telling the viewers at home, if there was no fence here, that one was directly at my head.
You didn't. I would say you didn't flinch, but I'd be lying.
Yeah, you would be lying. I did flinch a little bit. She threw that one right at me. This one popped up in the air. Good wood on that one, but it's going to go foul. And if this was the Major League Baseball, a warning would be issued because she right at my head. I'll let her be okay with this one. Anyway, it's a wild pitch and it moves the runner over to third base. That's the more important part, as we have an out and 2 strikes. This one ground ball third base side, not where East Marshall wanted to see it, but they do get the run to come home and score. It still was a decently close play. Nice little play by the other senior on the roster, Flaherty, over at third base. She made it. She didn't look to run her back as much as she could, but she's got the long throw across the diamond, and of course that runner's taken off.
And exactly what you said. She just didn't really take time to look the runner back, which is okay because honestly, if you get that, you want the out. You're up 2-0 right there, and if you don't get that out, now you're sitting with runners at first and third, and you certainly don't want that. But in the speed right there of Pumala, she's going to score on that 9 times out of 10.
So a run comes across for East Marshall. They answer now. The catcher will step in here for East Marshall. That is Madison Brereton, senior catcher, making her 107th at-bat of the year.
That's 466, so a real nice hitter
stick
in this order. Yeah, 13 home runs on the year.
And this one with the ball on the outside. Well, she's got the hair to go along with that stick as well. Right-handed batter, 1-1 the count. Kramer will find the pitch that she wants. Here it is. And this one will miss high for a ball. Yeah, Alta-Aurelia bowed out in the first round a year ago when they made the tournament for the first time in school history. And they fell to the eventual runners-up, Iowa City Regina. And they don't want to do that again. Well, they already got past where they did last year, but they want to get to the big stage. They want to get to Iowa Public Television tomorrow night.
And that'll be should be a fun weather, fun teams to watch tomorrow night. I mean, all the teams left in it right now are a great group to watch, and teams that we've been kind of following all season long, expecting them to get to this point.
In the air, popped up, could be in play, and it's over towards the media area, and it will get down for a foul ball. And there's a whole lot of camera picture takers there in that media area, and kind of a wall, and you couldn't really see where the ball was coming down at.
Yeah, it's interesting here at the field. They give them a little chalked off area inside the fence that the media can stand, and actually watched a cameraman from WHO get hit 3 times in one at bat in the last game.
Yes, I saw that as well. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Kramer gets out of it. Only 1 run comes in. It's Alta-Aurelia 2-1 for East Marshall. We're back here on the IGHSAU Digital Network in moments.
MidAmerican Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
This is more. More savings. More service. More focus on fresh, quality produce. Expert butchers who know more. And the most talked about meat in town. We are Fairway. We put everything into meat and grocery. And this is more.
Right back here at the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. And leaders, they start at Central College, and scholar athletes succeed on the court and in the classroom. In the past year, 112 Central College student athletes have received academic all-conference recognition. Learn how to become more than a spectator by visiting central.edu. And Andy, I don't know what I have done to either one of these pitchers, but Kramer threw at me. And now Husky has done the same thing in the warm-ups. She threw one right at my head also.
You see another check swing. Sierra Hill this time for Alta-Aurelia, but another check swing. You see them there, aggressive hitters. They are ready to, if it's going to be in the zone, you're going to see them swinging at it.
This one will miss high for a ball as well. And now a 2-0 count to start things off here for the Warriors of Alta-Aurelia. Got 2 runs on 2 hits last time up. There's a big cut and a high fastball.
Yeah, she continues to work that screwball pretty much exclusively right now, trying to keep bringing it from outside into these right-handed batters. That one even fooled her own catcher.
Yeah, that one was a pretty nice pitch. In there for a strike. Now 2-2, so she gets down 2-0 the count and battles back to a 2-2. That one misses low. Maybe just mishandled it a little bit.
Yeah, I came with more of an off-speed look on that and just not quite enough oomph on it to get it to the plate.
3-2 now the count. Batter on the right side. And a foul ball back to the backstop.
And she continues to put that in on the hands. Just no power from swinging it. That doesn't allow the full use of the lever. Sorry for the physics lesson, but doesn't allow it.
No, absolutely. That's a good way of putting it. And I remember when I played baseball, I would strike out every single time on an inside pitch rather than take one off the handle because I hated that feeling. Swing and a miss, and she gets the strikeout.
That time she comes with a screwball coming off the outside, bringing it outside, bringing it in and then off the outside corner, and didn't leave much room for Sierra Hill. She just late recognizes that it's breaking in, and late swing and a strikeout.
Elena Westpalm, a sophomore. The first baseman will step in, and there's a high pitch taken for a ball. Yeah, we talked about this Alta-Aurelia team, also young. Lopez, a freshman. The catcher's a freshman as well. Magnuson. Sophomore Hill, sophomore Larson. There's a swing and a miss. Now 1-1 the count. Flaherty and Kramer the only seniors. Westpalm's a sophomore. Turnquist is Turnquist is the third one. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Turnquist, Kramer, and Flaherty, the 3 seniors. Always Jacobson's a sophomore, Peterson's an 8th grader, and Lunderville also plays, and she's a freshman. Here's the pitch, and that one will miss high again. So a young team for Alta-Aurelia.
And we've seen that in a lot of girls' sports, the youth, but there's always, it's still the seniors end up winning it for you a lot more often than not. There's obviously exceptions to that, but there's programs out there that continue to win year after year, but it's the seniors, as we see a ground out here to Maria Rasmussen, but it's that senior leadership. And honestly, by this point in the season, your juniors are seniors. At this point of the school year of the season, I mean, they're in less than a month. They're going to be starting their senior year. So, juniors and seniors provide the leadership in these situations.
Yeah, Rasmussen, good smooth transition there at first, over to first base, and a big cut here to start things off for Flaherty, the leadoff hitter in the order, who got things rolling for Alta-Aurelia come the first inning. She's back up to bat here in the second. That one towards the top half of the zone. So settling in a little bit, Hosky. Settling in just a little bit. Had a little bit of a rough inning. Didn't get a lot of help from her defenders. That was part of it. Swing and a miss, but she didn't put the ball in places that she's putting the ball right now.
I really like watching Hosky throw the ball. This is the way that she comes inside out and continues to push the inside part of the plate. And then, there's 3 different zones that she really brings that pitch in. and she's working that screwball pretty much exclusively right now after we watched a changeup get ripped in that first inning. But she'll work. You'll see her work outside the plate to the outside corner. You'll see her work middle of the plate to the inside corner. And then you'll see the one she's really liked early on was that inside part of the plate and then take it in on the hands. And that's the one that's induced some of these really weak hits by Alta-Aurelia.
Oof, that one just not enough oomph on it. Rolled about 3/4 of the way to the plate. And we're back even at 2-2.
The scoreboard shows that we have 3 outs, and I don't think that's right because we wouldn't be playing right now if we had.
They changed it for this inning. You got to get 4 outs. This one in the air, and that one will make it back to the backstop.
Boy, that would change some strategy if you had 4 outs in an inning.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just like that new rule they're proposing out east about being able to steal first in minor league baseball right now. If they were to add that in, that would change up some strategy as well.
Without a doubt. Again, staying alive. You talked about the aggressiveness from Alta-Aurelia, and they showed again.
Yeah, there's not many pitches that they don't like. I mean, they're loading with everything, and you see them. We've seen so many check swings already. Some to get appealed, some not. But yeah, they're a very aggressive hitting team. And as you look at the runs they've put up on the year, they've put up a lot of double-digit numbers this year.
In the air, could be trouble behind second base. Ranging over and making the catch is Rasmussen for out number 3. Nice little play there on the edge of the grass. And we head to the bottom half of the second. You're watching the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
I am smart.
I am smart.
I am smart.
I am kind.
Kind.
I am kind.
I am strong.
Strong.
Strong. I am important.
I am important.
I am important.
I am the Iowa girl.
I am the Iowa girl.
I am the Iowa girl.
I am the Iowa girl. I am the Iowa girl.
I am the Iowa girl. I am the Iowa girl.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right, you decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Welcome back here on the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. Back to Harlan Rogers Sports Complex in Fort Dodge. As the Class 2A consolation matches took place yesterday. As that one will miss for a ball in the first consolation match, which was played at 1 o'clock yesterday. It was Beckman, the number 5 seed, beating Wapello, the number 8 seed. So Beckman finishes in the 5-6 area, 5th and 6th. This one a swing and a miss. And then Ogden defeated Central Springs 12-3. So Ogden also tied for 5th and 6th, and Central Springs and Wapello finish 7th and 8th. Central Springs, the number 3 seed coming in, finished 7th and 8th. Disappointing there for the Panthers.
It's interesting right now. Julianne, Reefy up for East Marshall, but a lot of these batters, you see kind of the in vogue thing to be doing right now is really crowding the plate, and she's doing exactly the opposite. She's really backed herself off the plate. The long-armed senior here, first baseman, you see that the back foot as well. I mean, you're on a downward slope. It's interesting because of the way the batter's box has been worn.
This one fouled back to the backstop.
Reefy bats .417 on the year, so she knows what she's doing. It's just interesting to see with so many players crowding the plate right now to see her backed off, and maybe not even that noticeably if it wouldn't be for the way everybody else stands right now.
And nearly 70 at-bats for her this year. That one misses high. It depends on the team. Some teams that's low, some teams that's high. Some of her other teammates are over 100 at-bats this year.
She's had enough to give you a solid sample size with 70 at-bats.
Yep. Yeah, you know what you're going to get out of her. This one in the air.
Mid-American Energy and you.
And diving catch. No, it's out of the glove. Oh, nearly an all-star play out there in center field.
Turnquist, she had it.
Yep.
She had it, just couldn't quite roll through and complete the catch. And in the NFL, that's the process of the catch. And here, no one's going to argue that she is safe. But man, Turnquist had that in her glove, and that was a highlight reel type catch if she could have hauled it in, like you said.
Unfortunately, it goes to the grass, and now East Marshall has a runner on and nobody out, and we see the small ball effect back into play as we have seen quite a bit. Hannah Burks, the batter now, wears number 14, the third baseman.
Having that leadoff batter on just changes so much strategy for both the offense and the defense.
And that one misses high for a ball, and she didn't even look to sack that time. Could be partially because the ball was sky high.
With the bases only 60 feet apart, those decisions have to be made so quick, and you get that leadoff runner on, it puts a lot of stress on the defense.
Here it is, and she fouls it off, and now the 1-2 count. Gonna probably have to swing away, though. A couple of times throughout this tournament, we have seen teams bunting with 2 strikes.
Yeah,
but
I saw that in the last game as well, yep.
In the Clarksville game earlier this afternoon, we saw it and it didn't work out for Lisbon. They tried bunting with 2 strikes and the batter bunted out.
They'll never see it coming, right, on defense?
Swing and a miss, doesn't matter. She strikes out anyway. And that will be the out, first out. Now that helps out a little bit, because now if you sack her to second base, there will be 2 outs, and she's only at second instead of being at third base with 2 outs. It's a 2-1 ball game. So you could see them wanting to get her in position. They do aim for the sack once again.
Well, I mean, right now you're just trying to get a runner in scoring position if you can. It depends on also, I mean, if you have a power hitter in Hosky up to bat, has a couple home runs on the year, but you're certainly not counting on something like that right now, and you're not looking for a fly ball to the outfield with a runner on first.
Hosky will try to lay it down to help herself out, and again, fouls it back to the backstop. Bunting has been a problem for everybody today. In the Clarksville game that I was doing earlier, they went 7 straight bunt attempts before one finally got cleanly down between both teams. We finally had to start keeping track, and now, and back-to-back batters here for East Marshall. Neither of the bunt attempts are successful, and now going to have to swing away here with Hosky. And she swings through another one. Back-to-back strikeouts for Kramer, and with a runner on first base, nobody out, East Marshall still has a runner on first base, and we have 2 outs.
Yeah, it didn't put as much stress on. You mentioned a couple failed bunt attempts, and that's something at this level. You know, none of these pitchers are going with exclusively fastballs. There's so much movement on the balls that if you're not seeing much of that throughout the season right now, that makes the bunting a lot harder. You've got to track that movement and adjust, and you don't have the obviously with bunting, you don't have the luxury of being able to foul them off.
Right.
So there's a lot more movement now at the state tournament, especially here at the semifinals. Makes bunting a lot harder.
Kayla Mommer will step in now, the designated player in the 8 spot. And that one will miss back-to-back balls here for Kramer.
It's interesting. I love watching how a catcher works the plate. And for Alta-Aurelia, Allie Magnuson is just all over the place in the back. She'll give that target, move inside, outside, high, low. She is the freshman taking command of things behind the plate. And that pitch must have missed a little bit low. But, yeah, she is not much for framing it right now, nor do you have to be. I have ultimate confidence in Tom Sullivan behind the plate that he'll be making the correct call there, but just never just a pitch down the middle except for on 3-0, like we just saw right there.
Yeah, 3-0, usually you're going to send it down the pipe because not very many people have a green light on 3-0. Like
very few select hitters in the state.
Alex Rodriguez. This one will miss for ball 4, and that's the reason why. You take a 3-0 pitch and you pop it up. We have the end of the inning. Instead, you let 1 strike go by. You take a 4th ball, and now you got runners on first and second with 2 outs and a base hit should score 1.
Going to get a courtesy runner in here for East Marshall.
And that is an IMT substitution. You can be worry-free with IMT by visiting IMTINS.com. And that courtesy runner is going to be number 1, Madison Duncan. I believe it was number 1.
Yep, that's Duncan.
Yep. She is a senior. She bats quite a bit as well, plays quite a bit, not in the starting lineup this evening. She is in right field, but not in the batting lineup. As she comes in to run for herself, or in that position. That's the nice thing about getting the DP on. Bring that flex in to run.
Yep. Got Fonts here. We saw her make a great play on defense out there in left field, a running catch. Fonts, a long line of good athletes with that last name from Marshall County. Some really good ones over there.
Emma wears number 7 and a lefty. So this could be good if she can take one to the first base area. Bring one, let one sit deep in the zone, and crank her over into right field is what East Marshall wants to see here. For Alta-Aurelia, they'd like to see Kramer strike another batter out.
Kramer's been really good when she gets ahead in the count, but struggled here in this inning to really stay ahead of batters.
Swing and a miss, and oof.
Yeah, really off balance. Fonts really off balance with that pitch.
A rough at bat for Fonts thus far.
2-2-2, shake what you got right now.
Deuce is wild on the board. And a swing and a miss, strike 3, strike out the side, Abby Kramer. Leave 2 runners on base. You're watching the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right, you decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
I wanted a big university experience.
Without the big university price.
That's why I chose Iowa Central.
What makes Iowa Central so different than other community colleges is its size.
Big campus, lots of programs, athletics, and performing arts.
I live right here on campus.
And the teachers know me by name.
I'll be career ready in 2 years.
And all my credits transfer to a university.
It's a big time experience.
Without the big time price.
Come see for yourself.
Mid-American Energy and
IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. Top of the 3rd inning, and for Alta-Aurelia, you get 2 runs in the first, you have a scoreless second, and now the Warriors trying to bat again here in the 3rd. The number 6 seed trying to punch their ticket to the state championship game. And this is fouled down the third base side. Now, obviously, for us, it doesn't matter who does, but if Alta-Aurelia is able to join at North Lynn, that would be both schools making their first ever appearance in state championship play, and so somebody's going to walk away with a state champion for the first time.
Those are the teams that get remembered, too, in their schools when you're the first. Make that happen. It was interesting in that last pitch to watch Turnquist. Noticing, looking down the third baseline, that Burke's playing just a little bit deeper, not playing up, tries to go with a quick bunt to get herself there, and won't see that now, I'm guessing, with 2 strikes, but interesting bit of strategic bunting, not with a runner on even.
This one high for a ball, and the remnants of LDF Semco, excuse me.
LeGrand, Dunbar, Ferguson, Southeast Marshall County.
Yes, they finished 2nd back in 1989. So they have played.
I should not have started to mention those town names because I'm sure I left one of them out, and I'm going to get a text or a phone call from one of my many East Marshall people that I know.
Oof.
Strategic shot right there.
Yeah, that one landed between the dugout and the fence. And give her credit if she aimed that one perfectly. Foul ball, 3-2.
What a beautiful setup here. We've got netting all the way around. Netting starting to become pretty popular at a couple of softball tournaments down south in Oklahoma and Kansas, Missouri this year, and the netting that's the popular thing. Everybody's going with it. It can cover a lot more area. I think it's cheaper. I assume it's cheaper, but the views are so much better. You're not watching the life of your kids or your favorite player through a chain link fence, and it's much more protective too. You can go higher with it than you can for chain link fence and cover a lot more area. So
yes, that's been a big discussion even in Major League Baseball now, as we see a runner over at first base for Alta-Aurelia. I want to make it up, not quite over the fence, or the netting, I should say. It bounces off, but that's been a discussion even in Major League Baseball now. How far should they extend the netting? Here at Harlan Rogers, it extends past the bleachers. So even the bleachers plus, the fans on the other side a little bit will also get covered.
A few feet past the bases even.
Yes, absolutely. And so very well done with the new netting. This is the first year of this netting. I know you mentioned you haven't been here for a state tournament, but this is the first year for this netting. It used to be chain link fence all up there along this as well. This one in the air, pop fly. First base area. Ooh, tough little play over at first base, but a nice play there for Arfie.
She had to do a lot of footwork. First of all, she had to avoid first base, and second of all, Turnquist, who's in her safe zone there on first base, doesn't have to leave or get out of the way, but had to kind of navigate her way around and kept her eye on the ball the whole time, and Reefy able to track it in and get the out.
Yeah, tough little play there, but she's able to make it. Swing and a check. Swing, are they going to check it? They will.
Another check?
No, she did not go, they say.
Feeling that's not the last time we're going to see that tonight, the way they swing the bats.
No, absolutely not. This one, swing and a miss.
Koski brings it in on the hands again. That's that inside to inside pitch that I talked about earlier. And again, we've seen pretty much that's her pitch right now. I haven't seen many changeups really since then, or curveballs coming away.
That one will miss down low as well. So 2 balls and a strike here with a runner over at first base. This one is fouled away. Carlisle, the #1 team in Class 4A, had a walk-off homer in the bottom half of the 8th inning, 7-6 over West Delaware there in the Class 4A tournament. What a game that was.
Yeah, when I came over to this game, Carlisle was ahead 4-1, but West Delaware just put runners on to start the inning.
In the air, that ball will get down for a single into left field for Lopez. And Alta-Aurelia with 1 out now has runners on second and first.
And I think Fonts played that correctly out in left field. That's a situation where, some may say, okay, she could have dove for it. With that being a line drive type of hit and with a runner on, if she dives for that and misses, that could be an in-the-park home run right there. That is, and you're certainly going to have a runner score. I think she made the right decision of playing that safe. Just if that's a lazy fly ball, that's one thing, but the way that was coming as a line drive, that's definitely the right decision.
Pop fly in the air and in foul territory. Ranging over and making the catch is Hannah Burks over at third base. Yeah, the Class 4A field was one of those fields that we kind of talked about. It was pretty wide open.
I would say 4A and 5A right now.
Yeah.
I'm not sure there's a clear front runner. There's some very good teams, but no one that's been just...
And not winning the race to the bag is Burks. The umpire says that Burks did not win the race to the bag on the third base side. And hello, bases loaded, 2 outs here for Alta-Aurelia. Now, do you like to see that play, or would you rather just make the throw across the diamond and get the out?
Well, you're right there. I think that's the right play. It's an easy one, but it was a foot race, and Burks was there second. It's a tough call as an umpire to make because you've got 4 feet all running towards that base at the same time, and then you add into that the slide, so there's not a hard boom type of thing of the throw, the foot hitting the base. I'm not sure that would hold up if we had a replay here, but it was called safe, and Alta-Aurelia in business here with 2 outs.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. A base hit would extend the Alta-Aurelia lead. Swing and a miss. Strike 2, though. A hole here for the number 7 hitter, Mallory Jacobson, the second baseman.
She bats .376, so it's one of your better hitters on this team.
And the spot you want her to be in right now. In the air, could be trouble, left field, and it's caught. A nice play by the shortstop. In that situation, Reagan McElrath makes the play for out number 3. We head to the 3rd. You're watching the IGHSAU right here on the digital network.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
Bottom half of the 3rd inning. We go here between East Marshall and Alta-Aurelia. East Marshall gets out of trouble there. And this one is in there for a called strike. Yeah, we were talking about that Class 4A field a little bit. I think the top 4 or 5 teams, yeah, that was the 5 seed West Delaware taking on the 1 seed Carlisle. Your top 5, 6 seeds, it was pretty wide open. And this one popped up in the air, and that will get down. 0-2 now the count. And yeah, 5A is pretty open. Waukee maybe a little bit ahead, but
yeah, we'll find out tonight. Yeah. Waukee and Johnston have not played. We've got that game next, and they've not played this year. But I'm expecting actually probably several runs in that one. I know they've got some really good pitchers, but there's some really nice hitters in that matchup.
Yeah, there's a strikeout for Kramer. Me and you will have that call right here on the IGHSAU digital network.
Sun is definitely becoming a factor right now as it sets here behind us, but really a factor as you look out into right field. The right fielder, second base, first base, they're staring right into it right now as it starts to cast some longer shadows on this day.
A nice little play into right field. And now we got a runner on base there for Rasmussen.
It was interesting. Right before the pitch was thrown, Jacobson, the second baseman for Alta-Aurelia, was motioned in. She was told to come in a little bit more, so I'm not sure if they were expecting a bunt or what. They did. If she's back at normal depth, she at least has a chance to play that ball. But, you know, the coaches, they go by the numbers, and then the other coaches, they break their tendencies. So kind of a chess match going on right there, and that allows a leadoff or a second base runner here for.
It's a fair ball, and she's safe. Runner's going to take off for third, and she is safe again. So the ball gets down, bunted well, and Alta-Aurelia's coaching staff not happy.
Yeah, the bunt was perfect. So here the ball gets laid right in front of the plate with backspin, comes back onto the plate where it's picked up and fielded. That's a fair ball. The throw to first is high. And then coming around, great base running, and that's how you do it. Maria Rasmussen rounding second, heading towards third. The throw probably beat her there, but she slides to the outside of the base as the throw comes to the inside of the base, and Jessica Flaherty just not able to put the tag on her. So a nice recognition of that by Rasmussen, and she's in safe. East Marshall runners in the corners right now.
Dave Turnquist, the head coach for Alta-Aurelia, comes out, wants an explanation. He gets the one, maybe not that he wanted, but he got an explanation heading back to the dugout.
Gets the S, the satisfactory mark on the report card.
This one fouled back to the backstop here, and this is the hitter for East Marshall you want up here in a 2-1 ball game. Runners on the corners and 1 out.
Yeah, no doubt. You bring up Farrington. She's got a few home runs on the year, a bunch of triples. 13 home runs. This is definitely the situation for the Coach Hosky wants at his Mustangs in right now.
And that one will miss.
Good stop by Magnuson.
Yeah, she's played very well behind the plate tonight. She doesn't bat, just stays with that catcher gear on. You see that a couple of times throughout this tournament. This one in the air, and will be down again. So now an 0-2 count in for Kramer. She's got an arsenal she can work with here with an 0-2 count.
Yeah, you still got to be careful, though, because you got to keep everything pretty close to the zone with a runner on third. You can't just be throwing 1-2 pitches outside, low and away in the dirt, or you struggle with throwing a high one as well right now because of the power hitter at the plate, and we get a defensive indifference is going to allow Reagan McElrath to head to second base, so now even more damage can be done for Farrington. Just got to be careful, not necessarily pitch around her, but don't give her anything that great to hit.
That one's high for a ball, and now we've gone from 2 strikes to we add 3 balls to it, a full count. Now you do have a sack open, and I guess if you load them up, then you have a force at home, but you never like the bases loaded.
Yeah, and at a full count, I'm not sure that's the situation. That's the time to walk her, maybe earlier, and she goes after it.
Ooh, inside pitch. Kramer comes with it, and for Alta-Aurelia, that's what they like to see.
That's a huge strikeout for Kramer. Again, she brings that screwball kind of tailing back inside and has some drop to it as well as she comes back with it. And that's basically an impossible pitch to hit it so far inside and low, but it looks good coming down the middle of the plate.
Just executed perfectly for Kramer. And now the hard throwing righty.
It's interesting over here. The signals come from the dugout for Alta-Aurelia.
Ooh, that one shortstop area. Fielded, fired over to first. And the scoop at first base saves the run for Alta-Aurelia. Nice play for Elena Westpalm. At first, she saves the run, but you got to credit Shea Peterson, the 8th grader, making the clutch play at shortstop to get it over there. We head to the 4th, and Alta-Aurelia preserves their 2-1 lead here on the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
I wanted a big university experience.
Without the big university price.
That's why I chose Iowa Central.
What makes Iowa Central so different than other community colleges is its size.
Big campus, lots of programs, athletics, and performing arts.
I live right here on campus.
And the teachers know me by name.
I'll be career ready in 2 years.
And all my credits transfer to a university.
It's a big time experience.
Without the big time price.
Come see for yourself.
Mid-American Energy.
College is recruiting leaders. Come and learn and play at a place that regularly wins national team championships, national individual titles, conference titles, and conference all sports titles. Visit central.edu to learn how you can be more than a spectator. First pitch was fouled off there to start the top half of the 4th inning here for Alta-Aurelia.
Little roll of the R there, huh? Give it the
trying to
good strong German name there. Aurelia had a great grandmother of that first name.
Okay, I've heard a couple of people with the first name Aurelia.
Not a super common name, but it's one. As soon as I found out I had this one, it was caught my attention.
Yes, this one up and out of play. Yeah, Alta from over in the Storm Lake area, not too far from here. Got a good crowd on hand with them.
Got the light blue shirts, crowds in. You see that not uncommon here that you see crowds with a different colored shirt than necessarily their team colors.
Yeah, just different color. It's summer, bring a summer bright color. Even the state tournaments that are shirts that are sold here, which are beautiful, are some of them just maybe a light blue or a pink or just something different. Swing and a miss and a strikeout.
Yeah, Hosky brings that one high and inside. Again, that's her kind of her go-to with 2 strikes.
These two teams are seeing each other. They don't see each other. Different
Long
areas.
ways away.
yeah, very far. Marshall County for East Marshall. And the high school, I believe, is in LeGrand, right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. LeGrand, Iowa, not too far from Marshalltown. It's probably almost a 3-hour drive from Alta-Aurelia's, from Buena Vista County to Marshall.
Yeah, not much of a straight shot there. You get up, probably head up to Highway 3 eventually and get over there most of the way.
That one is attempted at. And so it's an 0-2 count. East Marshall onto the North Iowa Cedar League, the Western Division. Finished second place in the conference, 10-2 so far on the year. Lost twice to BCLUW. This one right back at the pitcher. Hello, Merry Christmas, look what I found.
Just the Glover right at the waist high. It's one of those, if you were ready for it, it's not coming that hard, but the fact of the matter is you just saw someone swing very hard, and you don't know exactly how fast it's coming back at you. But
exactly.
Right there at the waist, Husky hauls it in.
Yeah, other games this year, IGHSAU, they were able to beat them twice throughout the year. That's a team that was ranked 6th in the state.
And they've got a nice little history, a nice little tradition going on right there.
Oskaloosa also in the Class 4A field this year. Another team that this East Marshall team has defeated this year. There's a swing and a miss. And now 0-2 for Flaherty.
Husky, since that first inning, she has really started to settle down. Not gave many hittable pitches for Alta-Aurelia.
East Marshall started the season 3-3, but since then, they've only lost one, and that's a foul ball. Since that 3-3 start, they've only lost one other game on the year. That was a mid-season loss to BCLUW. Otherwise, the Mustangs have been rolling as they've won 28 of their last 29.
A history at East Marshall in softball that goes back many years.
That one will miss inside for a ball. Well, and then they also routed third-rated Jessup to get here.
Don't say that too loud around here. We've got Paul Yeager prowling. Don't mention that they beat Jessup. You might never hear anything about East Marshall ever again.
Inside for a ball, and I think, well, maybe he's taking a snooze somewhere.
I know he'll be over here. That 5A, he's been following 5A pretty closely this year, and he'll be back and forth. He'll be bouncing around a lot tonight because, he'll be very interested in those two games.
He'll have the coverage on Iowa Public Television. This one on the right side, that one a foul ball in foul territory. It was dropped, missed, but Paul will be on the call on Friday evening for the Class 5A state championship on Iowa Public Television.
Great coverage that they provide.
Absolutely. I believe Brad Wells will be here for the two games tomorrow night. Brad Wells will have them for you. The two games, and then Yeager's got all three on Friday. This one's popped up in the air, and that one will drop for a ball.
Farrington just couldn't quite find it right away off the bat. It was directly behind her, and that makes it tough to find. If
it
you
does. Especially when you got a mask on.
Peripheral can see it to the side, but when it's directly behind you, it's a second slow hauling it in.
Yeah. Deuces are wild on the board once again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 4th.
Flaherty with a little extra life. We had the dropped foul ball over there, and then now with the one that could have been caught here. Just a tough angle for Farrington.
See what she can
Flaherty,
do it.
Yeah, see what Flaherty does here.
This one back to the fence once again, so another foul ball. Flaherty, we talked about this entire team being aggressive, but I think one of the more aggressive hitters for Alta-Aurelia today has been Flaherty.
Oh, we've seen that. We've seen it in her at-bats. And there's nothing that she doesn't like. I wouldn't call her a choosy hitter, but she's got great hand-eye coordination, able to get that bat on a lot of pitches.
And check swing. It's a ball if it's not a strike. We'll see. And she does not go, so it's ball 4.
Ball 4. I was waiting for the appeal down to first base because everybody.
And Flaherty, she didn't know. I don't know if she knew what the count was, but the umpire doesn't make. If the umpire doesn't make a strike call, which he didn't, he did a good job. He doesn't make a strike call, which means that it's a ball. But they did appeal. If the bat went around, then it would be strike 3. But the bat did not go around, So it's ball 4. Now this one's skied left field in fair territory for out number 3. We head to the bottom of the 4th. You're watching the IGHSAU Digital Network powered by Mid-American Energy.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service. What the day
complex. It's the Kruger Seeds Field is where we are located. His name Andy, my name's Aaron. As we get set for Class 2A semifinal action, we're in the 4th inning. And East Marshall is looking to come back. All of our runs scored early in the ball game.
And really, there's a little bit of a threat later on, but just not much of a threat's coming either.
Pitchers have really settled down, and this is one of the games I thought maybe would be like a 9-10 ball game, or could be a 9-10 ball game, and we saw that right away. We saw the runs coming in, and I was like, here we go. But since then, both pitchers have really settled down, and we're playing 2-1 softball, and that one is in there, swing and a miss, strike 2.
Can I just say how thankful, though, I am right now as we start to feel that sun go down? I'm almost a little bit cool.
Yes. You know, I've said that a couple of times, and I'm surprised the mobs haven't got me yet. This one is swing and a miss, but it's dropped, and they're going to chase her down. She can still run. One of the rules, not a new rule, but one of the rules that I was made clear of. I was talking with a couple of umpires, and they have the right to run until they step into the dugout. On a drop third strike, actually, our home plate umpire right here, Tom Sullivan, was the one that was having the conversation with me about it, because I was asking him, because in baseball, it's as soon as you're out of the base paths, you're out. But here in softball, until you get inside the dugout, or if it's the third out and the other team is completely off the field and in their dugout, you have a right to go to first base.
And that's one of those things where, I mean, it's not a huge advantage because it's not your planned strategy for getting on base, but you're in that first base dugout, you're heading that way anyway.
That's exactly
that can help you out.
That's exactly what Tom told me. He said you could act like you're walking back to the dugout. You could get to the door of the dugout and run right to first base, and you are safe. That is one of the rules that I was made clear on, as that's high for a ball, because Tom was over here watching a couple of the games earlier this morning, the first game actually, and me and him were just chatting about just some different things. And that's cool to see. It's good that, I mean, these umpires are so smart and know the game so well. The IGHSAU has the best umpires. This one is fouled back to the back.
And I really enjoy having umpires, knowing a few of them that you can lean on a little bit throughout the course of the season. I call them with a "you make the call" after a game. I know one of the guys that I call a lot, Mark Amadeo, will be at first base here in the next game. He's also a veteran broadcaster, so he understands the questions that I'm asking him and wanting to get more knowledge on. So, and there's just enough differences between both softball and baseball that it's not always the same. Yeah, there's a lot of people look at it as the same sport, and it is definitely not. There's some general rules that are the same, but there's a lot of differences as well.
Hosky strikes out for East Marshall, and this will bring up now the number 8 hitter in the order. It's Kayla Mommer, the designated player. This one on the outside corner, and that will miss for a ball. You know, the other conversation that me and Tom had, and I thought it was quite interesting. So if a runner is running down to first base and she uses the white base at first base, and only the white base, she doesn't touch the yellow bag at all, and there's no obstruction. You know, obviously if there's a drop third strike, you know, there might be a chance where she needs to use a different bag. But if it's a ground ball and she does not use that bag and she is safe over at first base, but only uses the white, if the first baseman either A, tags her, or the coach appeals before she gets back on the base, she's out.
You're talking about a play at first where they don't round it or anything, something where they're just running straight through. Yep. When
they're running straight through, if they don't use the yellow bag at all, they use just the white bag and run straight in the outfield, most people think that you're good to round through or to run through first base, but you're not. If it's appealed.
And that's one of those things when you have a safety base at the high school level.
Yep. In the air.
Out, but you know, the safety base at the high school level, that's a different levels, different rules then, because you don't have that at the college level or the professional level.
Exactly. That's one of those high school rules right there. Well, there's a fly out. That will take us to the fifth. You're watching the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right, you decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
All you have to do, you just have to get their feet here on the pavement and bing. Being in Des Moines, you just get it through the experience.
I'm a fan of a lot of our fast, casual cuisine.
A little theater, some great restaurants.
There's a lot going on musically.
If you can't find things to do in Des Moines,
you must be boring.
This is a magical place.
Mid-American Energy takes the first pitch and skies it high. In the air, miscommunication maybe a little bit. Well, maybe right at the end there they kind of communicated, and the center fielder was able to get out of the way. Pumala was able to get out of the way, and the left fielder, Fance, makes a nice play. But
yeah, an inverse chain of command right there. As Fance kind of came in, and I'm not sure from here you can't hear, but I'm wondering if she was just a little bit louder and said, no, stay away, I've got this. And she's had a couple nice catches, just a freshman, but really plays like a veteran out there.
And usually the center fielder has access to the entire field and calls about anybody except for the shortstop off. But not seeing it there.
Hosky trying to work that outside screwball right now, bringing it from just outside to bring it across the plate. Went to the exact same spot on the second pitch as the first, and just a little bit too high. Evens up the count.
1-1 the count here. A 2-1 ball game. This one in the air, struck well, back at the fence and making the catch against the fence. Nice play, back-to-back good plays out in the outfield for East Marshall, and that's Pumala who makes that one.
And she read it from the beginning. She got herself squared up a little bit late, or a little bit early, so had to backpedal a little bit at the end, but makes the catch against the wall. Saves a runner from getting on base for sure. A single, maybe even a double would come off that one, but that ball, a couple more feet, and that's out of here.
That was nearly out of here. Would have been our first home run on this field today. Had a couple yesterday. Denison Schleswig in the Class 4A's quarterfinals. First at-bat of the game. The leadoff hitter jacked one. Their only run they brought in, and that's a fly out to first baseman for out number 3. F3 ends it. We head to the bottom half of the fifth. Right after this, you're watching the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right, you decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
This is more. More savings. More service. More focus on fresh, quality produce. Expert butchers who know more. And the most talked about meat in town. We are Fairway. We put everything into meat and grocery. And this is more.
Welcome back to
Mid-American
Harlan
Energy
Rogers
and
Sports Complex, or is it the Grand Ole Opry? Now it is Harlan Rogers Sports Complex. It's the Kruger Seeds Field as all the fans up and singing. Take me out to the ball game at our 5th inning stretch. Tim Fitzpatrick, the man upstairs, doing an amazing job as he always does.
What made you flinch there, Aaron?
Again, every time. How many times have I seen
fenced.
that?
I haven't seen the fence fail yet. You'd be the first, of course. Well,
yeah, that one would have hurt. That was a probably a 58-mile-an-hour fastball. I would have been taken right to the noggin. And I might have to have a little chat in the media tent over there with Abby Kramer afterwards to hash out whatever our differences.
She's had your number so far today, hasn't she?
Well, I don't. They haven't put a bat in my hand yet.
I think she's chuckling each time she does it too.
Well, yeah, she can see me back here. 2-1 the count to start things off. That one took down the some cardboard we had up. A crowd mic that was sitting there is no longer there. This one is a gapper. Will make it into the outfield for a base hit.
And we'll see now what Coach Jerry Hosky elects to do, because you're sitting there, you're down 1 run, you just get your leadoff batter on. I think this is definitely your situation that you're going to try to manufacture a run. You've got Pumala up here, definitely a bunt threat with the wheels that she's showing in the outfield.
No kidding. Center fielders usually do. We'll see if she puts it down. She will, and it's low.
You're playing for 1 run right now if you're East Marshall, tie this thing up and then move on from there. And you notice Alta-Aurelia, you don't have that ball in play. You basically are conceding that with a bunt they're going to get to second. It's almost impossible to get that runner out at second.
Maybe is the bunt. Oh, big turn over there at second base. I don't even know why she's making that turn, because the only way she makes that, she goes is if the ball gets away on a throw, and then she's got plenty of time. I don't like the decision to make that turn there, but she does.
The numbers, though, the numbers are about very aggressive base running right now, and you're trying to, as an aggressive base running team, force quick throws and force bad decisions by the defense. And with those numbers do come at some times, you do get picked off. But right now, that is a golden base runner out there at second base.
In the air, pop fly, tagging and staying put is going to be Emma Fantz.
Yeah, and I'm kind of surprised right there. I think as you look at that, you do want to draw the throw a little bit. I just mentioned the aggressive base running. Come off
halfway.
Enough to draw that.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily halfway, but as you tag up, take off hard a couple steps to third. See if you can't draw that throw and maybe be lucky and a run rolls to the dugout.
This one now low, the first pitch. And now for East Marshall, it was looking pretty promising, but now it's all up to Reagan McElrath, who steps in, the right-handed batter. She's got to get a base hit and enough to be able to score the run. In the air, ooh. Heads up.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think he got him over there.
Yeah, got a photographer in the ankle.
And he's saying that hurt.
Yeah, be an athlete, right? Media people. Wait, no one's ever confused us with athletes.
Maybe back in the day.
Maybe. I'm not even sure, but I might be being generous to myself there.
Oh, man. Ooh, nice off-speed pitch there. A little bit high, though. She had a little flare with the hands afterwards.
Trying to guide it just a little bit at the end.
Using her magical powers.
Yep.
Bottom of the fifth inning. This has been a tight ball game. In the air, left field. That one has a chance to get fair, and it's not. You knew it off the bat. Wasn't quite enough to get to the fence, but did have a chance to maybe bounce off the wall. Didn't even get that far, but did have a chance to bounce off the wall and get down for a hit. Just not enough steam to get out, but it was good enough for a hit.
Ends up just being a long strike at that point, but yeah, that had that had a tying runner all over it.
This one will miss. And the runner goes, and aggressive base running it is. Let's take third.
Well, and I think Fonts read that out of the hand of Kramer. As soon as she saw that ball was going to be low and in the dirt, she took off. And that's it. It's kind of that secondary lead turns into it. You already plan on getting your 5 hard steps or 7 hard steps off the base. But as soon as she recognized that ball, the trajectory of it heading in the dirt, she was on her way to third.
And McElrath will take first base on a walk. And now you have forces at second bag, first bag. And your catcher, and the one you want to bat. She's hasn't had quite the day maybe she wants, but Farrington stepping to the plate here for East Marshall, and she's the one I think you want the stick in the hand of.
Yeah, nobody else on this East Marshall team would you want to have the ball right now than Madison Farrington.
That one is flung up and out of play. A lot of good hitters, but in a crucial situation like this.
Senior catcher bats .466, 13 home runs. She's the one you want right now. Bottom of the 5th inning.
She's your stick handler. This one, good pitch, gets it past her. She struck out her last time up on that crazy screwball on the inside. You were talking about one of those impossible pitches to hit, and now 0-2 in the count. And now Kramer can go at something like that again, and she's got 3 pitches to work with.
You just got to keep it all where the catcher can block it.
Inside, skied in the air for Alta-Aurelia. This is what they want if they can make it the play. Farrington, the senior, locks in the catch. And for Dave Turnquist, the head coach, he comes out with a fist bump in the air. We head to the 6th. You're watching the IGHSAU Digital Network powered by Mid-American Energy.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
They say Buena Vista University is in the middle of a bunch of fields.
Hey guys, wait up! Game on. They say our idea of fun is morning tea, and afternoon tea,
and anytime tea.
And we hang out like bumps on a log.
They say a storm like Iowa isn't in the center of the action. And when we study, we're not exactly grounded.
But you know what we say.
You gotta see it to believe it.
Back to Harlan Rogers Sports Complex in Fort Dodge, Iowa. It's the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Championship Network here. And the championship tournament, it's the semifinal game. We are 2 complete innings away from figuring out who is going to take on number 1 North Lynn for a state title tomorrow night at 8:15 p.m. right back here on this exact same diamond.
Interesting. All the scoring in this game so far has been in the 1st inning.
Yes, it has, and that's a ground ball to the third base bag. And a nice little scoop and play over to first for Burks. And that's out number 1.
Yeah, Burks fields that off the hop, I think it hopped back to her glove side a little bit, so she had to corral it in. She was ready to reach across her body and made the play, made it look easy.
Jacobson will bat now. This one in trouble area, and a nice little play by the second baseman to get over there and scoop it up off the Rasmussen there.
Yeah, she covered a lot of ground over there.
That's one of those balls, again, we talked about the little Bermuda Triangle out there in right field. It could be trouble. A lot of people say first baseman, go get that. No. I want my second baseman on that ball every time.
She's just got a much better angle. She has it,
much
and turning around to go backwards makes that first baseman a lot slower to get there as well.
You know, I was talking earlier, I was telling listeners in your kitchen or in your living room, back up with your head in the air and try to catch something. That's about what you're trying to do over there at first base, and it's pretty hard.
Got a substitution right now, an IMT insurance substitution. Brielle Engelman in the ball game right now will be batting for Alta-Aurelia.
Substitutions in today's game, as Andy mentioned, are brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com.
Koski continues to work the inside corner. That one a little bit low, but man, she has just been stellar since that first inning. Will it be enough for Alta-Aurelia?
Big cut there. Yeah, Engelman, an 8th grader. This is a heck of a spot for an 8th grader, because Alta-Aurelia, they got the lead, but it's not a comfortable lead. It's a one-run lead against a team that can swing the stick.
They got through that top 4 of the order in that last inning. That was a huge out to get Farrington out.
Oh, good effort. A for effort there over at first base. A nice little play for number 4, Julianne Reefy. A nice little play over there. Reefy stretching. Here's a ball over to the side, and that is a base hit, and the 9th base hit of the year in 25 at-bats for the 8th grader, who comes in a pitch hit situation in the number 9 hole. She's hitting for the first baseman, Elena Westpalm, and she is able to get on base. No, excuse me. She was hitting in the 8th spot for Sierra Hill. Here comes Elena Westpalm in the number 9 spot.
And again, brings that screwball right in on the hands, and it comes off the handle, the place you don't want it, but it comes off the handle, but just enough on it. Covering a lot of ground was Burks at second, but as she reaches across her body, she covered so much ground. It was such a slow roller that Engelman was going to get to first anyway, but just put it right up the middle off the handle.
This one grounded third base side. Burks fields on a hop, trouble, and she makes the play. It was a tough play. It was close, but the play is made at first base in time for out number 3. East Marshall comes to bat. They have 6 outs left. 3 of them are next here on the IGHSAU Digital Network.
MidAmerican Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
All you have to do, you just have to get their feet here on the pavement and bing. Being in Des Moines, you just get it through the experience.
I'm a fan of a lot of our fast, casual cuisine.
A little theater, some great restaurants.
There's a lot going on musically.
If you can't find things to do in Des Moines,
you must be boring.
This is a magical place.
Back to Harlan Rogers Sports Complex. As I mentioned, we have 6 outs remaining here for East Marshall. They'll get 3 of them here in the 6th, and they'll get to carry 3 of them over to the 7th inning. As after making a nice little grab over at first base, now she gets to come up here and bat a Reefy. That one's high for a ball, 1-1. I did flinch again, but it wasn't as bad. It was more of a. I was dropping to pick up my pen. I went to pick my pen up. That's what it was.
Good cover.
I'm going to go with that.
Like falling up the steps and act like you were skipping, right?
This one in the air. It's going to make its way towards foul territory, and it does reach the second level of seats.
That wasn't as foul as I expected it to be, actually.
No, when it first went off the bat, that's why I about said that one, well, foul, and then I kind of had to hold myself for a second because it looked like it was coming back, but it does reach the seats, the second level of seats. And that one upstairs for ball 2. And both of the balls that Kramer's missed with here in the 6th inning have been bad misses. And see what she comes back here on 2-2. Oh. That one not quite a bad miss. That one inside. And it's 3-2. So a chance for East Marshall to get the leadoff hitter on.
Yeah, that'd be huge. They had it last inning and weren't able to get anything out of it.
Oof, that might have been ball four.
It was definitely coming high and outside.
That was real close. But, you know, it's the state semifinals. You don't want the decision to be made. You want to be able to be in all the decisions that are being made. And she was, as she fouls that one out of play and says, let me get a new one. This one right down the middle. She takes that one deep to center field, and it's just a really loud out for Reefy to start things off.
Yeah, Turnquist read that immediately off the bat, covered a lot of ground, and ended up making it look like a routine catch. But, yeah, she read that perfectly.
It was struck pretty well, and it was near the gap. That one would have been a couple feet more to the right. Might have been able to get down, and with the Reefy's speed, probably would have been heading for second base. And that one will just miss downstairs for a ball. But good job by Kramer. She, don't want to walk that leadoff batter. You get an out instead.
Yeah, that's right now. They're looking, like I said, that one run. That's what they're looking to, if anything, extend this game right now.
And another foul ball up and out of play.
It's interesting is if we have no runs scored till the final inning, we call it a pitcher's duel. The final score is going to probably look like that anyway, but we started off with 3 runs scored in the first inning, and
man, oh man,
didn't necessarily think we'd have that pitcher's duel, and that's what it's turned into. It's been a fun ball game this afternoon, turning into early evening now.
A lot of things happening around us. We had Class 1A and 2A here on this field. Class 3A and 4A semifinals were taking place over on the other fields, and also the start of Class 5A. The 5As will be separated. We'll have one Class 5A for you. The other field will have the other Class 5A. This one in the air, right side, and a catch is made out in right field by Jessica Larson for out number 2.
Can of corn for Larson out there. She hasn't had much action out there today.
No.
This is important right now to get for East Marshall. This is a big out right now, and I say that because as Hosky steps up to the plate, if East Marshall can figure out a way to get one runner on, you get back to the top of the order with a couple outs to play with in the next inning in the bottom of the 7th. Right now, if you're Alta-Aurelia, you get to face the 8-9-1 batter, and that's a good situation. The numbers say that's advantage Alta-Aurelia in that case. It's a big at-bat right now for Hosky.
And that would be in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Here's the pitch. This one in the air, pop up, and it will make it to the seats. Yeah, and that could be the difference. That's what we saw in Clarksville, in the Clarksville-Lisbon game. The only run that Clarksville scored that won the ball game was scored with 7-8-9. 7 got on, 8 moved her over, 9 brought her in, and that's what they needed.
And that was a quick, entertaining ball game today.
That was very quick. About an hour and 15 minutes-ish.
There, you've got Kramer giving Hosky a taste of her own medicine, throws that inside pitch in on the hands, catches the inside corner, backs her off the plate a little bit, and just like that, Kramer way ahead in the count.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Kramer celebrates with the fist pump and the scream to her teammates as she turns around. We are headed to the 7th. Alta-Aurelia will try to add a couple of runs as insurance here on the IGHSAU Digital Network.
MidAmerican Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Iowa Public Television is the home of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Championships. We bring you live, uninterrupted coverage of the state championships in volleyball, basketball, soccer, and softball. Plus, special features highlighting the Iowa girl. Catch it all on statewide Iowa Public Television, on air or at iptv.org.
Here we go to the 7th inning. on the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. First pitch in the air, and that's what East Marshall wants to see for the first pitch. It's an out.
Yeah, East Marshall wants to just get back to batting as soon as possible right now. And honestly, the way Alta-Aurelia has been playing defense, I'm not sure they don't want to get back to pitching right away and just get this game over with. That's exactly what they're thinking right now. I know as a lead in a close game, sometimes you just want that game to be over and fast forward to the end or hit that DVR button and get to the end.
In the air, second pitch. That was nearly 2 pitches and 2 pops. As this is number 11, Brittany Turnquist, the center fielder, who's had some work today in center field.
Yeah, we saw her have a really nice catch in that last inning, or 2 innings ago.
2 innings ago, yeah. This one, ground ball, and she swung that one at her dad.
Just a casual step out of the way.
Side saddles that one. Teaching his players to not do it, but he does it there. Right-handed batter box is the box of choice. In the air, left field, struck well. This one is off the top of the fence, and it is going to be a double for Turnquist.
Just off the top of the fence, and it was interesting as you looked at Coach Turnquist going down. He thought it was gone. Right before it hit, he put his hands in the air. Yeah,
he was rocky with both fists in the air. That's a Kruger Seeds extra base hit, and the Girls State Softball Tournament all extra base hits are brought to you by Kruger Seeds. The next time you're in the need of corn or soybean seed, give your local Kruger Seeds dealer a call. Kruger Seeds, first-class seed, first-class service, and a diving catch is made. No signal. It is now. Was the signal made?
Signaled out. Okay. Yep. First base umpire over there, Paul made the call.
And he was in the right position. I didn't look that way. I looked at home plate in the left field. I'm thinking 2-man crew here.
Yeah, it's interesting though as you look at that last hit by Turnquist. I mean, that's most other fields around the state. That's gone off the top of the fence here. 200-foot fence here in left field. Probably about 7 foot tall all the way around.
Yeah, between 7 and 8, somewhere in there. This one is off the top of the fence. Lopez, the number 4 hitter, will step in now, and some insurance is what Alta-Aurelia is looking for. Ground ball back at the pitcher. It's fielded. Fired over to first. In time for out number 3. Here we go. We had a walk-off moments ago over on the Iowa Central Community College field with number 1 seed Carlisle. Can the number 2 seed in Class 2A, East Marshall, walk it off? We'll find out when we come back on the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise, and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service. We might not always know what the day will bring.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics, because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
Welcome back here on the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. Here we go, bottom of the 7th inning. And as Andy alluded to, it's 8-9-1. All due up here for the Mustangs. But there you go. If you want to succeed, you got to have a good back half of your order. And this is where the back half can prove and say, hey, we're part of the team too.
And you're scratching and clawing to get any base runner possible in this inning, and that's a good start for East Marshall as Kramer loses that pitch a little bit outside.
And you got to be patient. I mean, you're not swinging.
That's exactly what Hosky was just telling her from down on that end.
You have a 2-0 count.
Zone.
There it is, outside ball 3. If you're gonna, I mean, now for sure she's gonna be taken on a 3, but more than likely Kramer's gonna come back, pitch down the middle, 3-1. So now you got to set up for a 3-1 pitch, and you got to be. There it is. There's your strike. Now we're gonna come back with a 3-1 pitch, and this is that pitch right here. If it's out of the zone or if it's near, let it go.
Yeah, you can be very choosy right now.
And Kramer, the pitcher she is, comes right down the middle for strike 2, and now this is anybody's count. It was 3-0, now we're back to 3-2.
And I'm not sure Mommer wants that pitch anyway right there. It's low and away. I mean, it's in the zone. It's a strike, but it's just not a very hittable pitch.
Down the middle and poked to right field. It's a base hit. It gets behind the right fielder. Ooh, grass saving her hair. Some trouble in Music City for Jessica Larson.
And Coach Greg Lee was starting to move her towards second, and then as she got there, he called her back. He realizes that's not a run you want to play with right now. You get a base runner, and you treat her like the most important thing in the world right now.
Yes, that is as gold as the helmets that East Marshall wears, and they will bring in the flex player to run here. This is Madison Duncan, the flex player who will run, and Duncan, yeah, she's got some speed, and that's why we're going to see time called here from Alta-Aurelia. Oh, man. Andy, I am not playing in this game. I am not coaching in this game, and I'm not a fan in this game. I'm a fan of the game, not a fan in this game, but my heart is pounding.
It's the fun. It makes it a lot more fun that they were able to get the leadoff runner on to start this inning. Again, without a rooting interest in this game right now, it certainly makes things a lot more interesting, and that's going to get us back to the top of the order here to see how things go a little bit. And every time East Marshall is threatened, Kramer comes back, and she has just been nails, and she's had the defense make plays behind her. They just got to settle down. I think what they're saying right now is we're going to take the out. We're going to get these first 2 outs, and then we'll play for it after that and see what happens. But just getting the out on the bunt.
And here's the bunt. It's in the air. It's caught over to first base. Double play.
Huge play for Alta-Aurelia right there. That just negates everything. And there's just no chance over there at first base to Duncan to do anything about it. We saw that happen in the last game too, a double play when a team was threatening, and just nothing she can do about it. And that immediately erases pretty much all the threat, and now you're at normal depth, you're playing everything. What a great play by Alta-Aurelia third baseman Jessica Flaherty.
Your number 9 hitter not able to get a bunt down, and that's where it happens. You want that bunt anywhere except for in the air. If it's foul, fine, we'll get another pitch. If it's on the ground in a bad spot, okay, move the runner. Don't put a pop fly on a bunt, especially because the Duncan, she's moving.
Yeah, and she was coming in hard. I mean, that's what made the play. I mean, the bunt itself, a lot of times in a normal situation, that bunt may land, but Duncan was coming, Flaherty was coming in so hard, charging in that's it was a great play by her.
Swing and a miss.
I think that was the hardest pitch that Kramer's thrown so far today right there. She had a little extra oomph on that.
She's gassing up every last bit of energy she has in her body, but doesn't want to use it all. I mean, use it all she's got right now. She's got to reboost it for tomorrow night because she's going to have one more maybe. Well, she'll have one more no matter what. But she's hoping it's for the gold trophy.
You don't have tomorrow night without finishing off this one right now. So it's everything you've got. But a hitter's count here again at the top of the order.
3-1 the count here for the number 1 hitter in the order for East Marshall. Down the middle, strike 2. Here we go. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th inning. What could you ask for? One pitch will decide it all. Unless there's a foul ball, that could ruin the Thunder. But for now, we'll go with one pitch can do it all. And there's... I had to mention it before it happened. There's the foul ball that ruined my one pitch can do it all.
Kumala continues to hang right now, and you know, a good batter. It's your leadoff batter, center fielder. She bats plus 400 on the year in 446.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Alta-Aurelia will play for a state title for the first time in school history. This 2A championship will be 2 schools who will both play for their first ever state title. Both two schools are making their second appearance to the state tournament, and both schools will have their chance at their first ever state title in school history. For Alta-Aurelia last year, they made it here, but lost in the first round. Okay, we got here. Now for Alta-Aurelia, it was championship or bust. The number 6 seed will take on the number 1 seed in the 2A finals. And now, Andy, all of our finals are set, except for our Class 5A final, which we will set next, right here on the IGHSAU Digital Network. We're going to take a break, then we're going to come back. We will have Waukee taking on Johnston right here for a trip and a berth to the Class 5A Championship. Thanks for joining us. Stay with us for one more semifinal coming up. For Andy Pollock, I'm Zarin Eggleston on the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while